Mike here from the Paranormal Road Trippers, and I'm here with psychic reader Paisley Town, and we're about to get into an interview with her on why she does what she does, how she does what she does, and when she does what she does. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's roll. Paisley, what do you call your gift?
What do I call my gift? That's a good question. I would say I'm an intuitive psychic, but I also specialize in psychometry, feeling the energy from different objects, and I'm a numerologist.
Tell me about your earliest psychic experience.
When I was a teenager, I was at someone's house and they threw a set of keys on the table. And right away I had a reaction to the keys, and they were, 2 or 3 feet away from me, and the person's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Well, just get these keys out of my face. I don't want them around me." And they said, "What are you talking about?" And I picked up one specific key from a big pile of keys. And I said, "This key is going to be an altercation between a man and a woman at a back door. And there's going to be violence involved with it." And my friend was shocked and couldn't speak. And later went on to reveal that the key that I was holding was his mother's house key, and she had just had someone break into her house while she was home yesterday, and she fought the guy off and he fled. There was an altercation at the back door.
Wow, and that would be psychometry.
Yes, at the time I didn't know that was psychometry. I just had a bad feeling about the keys and they were making me a bit nauseous.
Wow.
I'm a medical intuitive, so I get my information like in the body. Yeah.
That's cool. Like right before we started our interview, you caught on of my plug and left ear.
Yes.
So you are the only person who knows that.
Wow.
So kind of keep that. I'm telling them that. I just deal with it. Can you run me through your process of how things communicate with you?
The process. So normally if I'm going to be doing some work in this field, it could be in the paranormal field or in the psychic reading industry, I usually kind of get myself, not usually, I always get myself grounded and get protected. And I use sacred medicine and kind of like a meditation and prayer technique first, so that I can have a solid foundation to start from. And then I guess I would say I turn on the light or open the door to receive information. I don't walk around what I would call like coldly or blindly to just pick up stuff all the time. I shut it down and then turn it back on. So once I light my candles and say my prayers, I'm more prepared to get started.
What advice would you give people on how to protect themselves when they're going in to do an investigation?
Oh, that's a really good question. A lot of people feel like they can protect themselves or they don't need protection before walking into an investigation kind of situation. First of all, unless you know what you're walking into, it's probably not a good idea to go. It might be, popular or cool, or, they've seen stuff on TV and they think it's really fun, but any kind of situation where you might get into attachments or situation where you might get involved in, for example, entities or things kind of attaching themselves, attachment kind of situations, I wouldn't recommend it. I recently spoke to someone who kind of went and did a house clearing, and she called me at the last minute and said, what do I do before I go?
Yeah.
I would say go with a professional.
Okay.
So you're gonna, you can't really ensure that you're gonna be protected, but you can do everything possible to be protected so that you're not impacted, because other investigators have been bitten or scratched or pushed or left the scene feeling like heavy or down or weighted with stressful, depression and different things like that.
Okay. I have seen you walk through houses and sense trauma, death, and other energies. Like firsthand, I've seen you do that. Can you walk me through that process of how things come to you?
That's a good question. So I'm not sure that I know how things come to me, except that for me, when I'm receiving information, it comes through mostly in the body. Sometimes I'll hear information, and quite often I'll see information. I'm a pretty visual person. But when I go into a property for example, paranormal investigation situation, I will sometimes, stand in a room and just be quiet, and sometimes even close my eyes so that I can see better. So I can feel the information more clearly. And I have seen people with my eyes closed, and I've seen people with my eyes open.
Wow.
Yeah.
I ask all sensitive people this. What is the difference between a psychic, medium, and a sensitive?
So I feel like all people that do readings have psychic ability. I feel like mediumship is the middle ground between, I'm gonna use the words heaven and earth, if you will, like sky energy or spirit energy and planet energy. So to me, the medium would be between the sky and the earth. It's like just the messenger. Medium and psychic. And what was the other part of the question?
Sensitive.
And sensitive. Gosh. Sensitive to me is a word that's a little bit broader. It's partly empath, so one that feels information even if it's not visual. I know on the eastern coast of North America, Canada and the US, they sometimes call psychic people sensitives. So I tell people that I'm a very sensitive.
Sensitive. I like that. Okay. Tell me about numerology. How did you get into it?
Oh my gosh, there was a man that came to a school where I used to work. It was a metaphysical school that's closed down now. It used to be on the North Shore. And he came to do a presentation at our school. He came a bit early before his presentation, and I got to chat with him for a few minutes before the students started to arrive. And he asked if he could use my name and my birthday as an example on the board to teach the other students. So it was a 2-hour class, and so for the first hour he focused on my birthday and my name and started revealing personal information about me to the class, stuff that I never told him, and I couldn't figure out how he would know that kind of detailed information. It's interesting about numerology that I even am able to do it, because I found out when I was in high school that I'm dyslexic with numbers. And for many years, I told people, I hate numbers. Numbers are stupid. I'll never work with numbers. I don't want to, I don't want a job where I have to work with, and I'm a numerologist now. So it's kind of interesting to me that I felt like numerology kind of pulled me in. So I met that man at the class, and then I booked a reading with him. He explained to me how my birthday and my birth name had a huge imbalance. And he pointed out, a whole bunch of different areas of my life where I would struggle, and I was already struggling in those areas that he mentioned to me. So I was kind of surprised that he brought up random things that were specific, and I was just so drawn to it that I took all his courses and classes, and now I do numerology myself.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
In your opinion, is the medium a valuable asset in paranormal investigations?
I feel like it's one of the most important aspects in an investigation. Like, yes, the equipment's important, but to me, I feel like it's paramount to have a psychic medium there on the spot to see, feel, hear, know, clarify, confirm information. When I've done investigations myself, I tell the investigators that I like to go in blind or go in cold. It just means I don't, other than the address, like they usually say it's a residential thing and here's the address, or they might say it's a commercial property or it's a tavern or a church or a pub or whatever, and I have the address and the location, and I don't have any information about any history about the building or the property or the people or the experiences that have happened before I got there. And I like to just go in cold and see what I get. And then when I get something, And even if all the investigators already knew it before I got there, it's already confirmation for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the benefits of using a medium in a paranormal investigation? Similar question, but different.
Yeah, I think the benefits are that when you can take a person that doesn't know what's going on and put them into a situation and they suddenly know what's going on, to me it's just super evidential, and it's clarifying, and it's, I want to say, almost like rewarding, that you can see what's really happening, because how else would they know?
Absolutely.
Right?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be asking all people this exact question that are kind of involved in paranormal teams. What advice do you give to new people coming into the paranormal scene? Someone who has watched a couple episodes of Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures and they're like, I want to be like that guy.
For me, I feel like when we go on a real investigation, as opposed to watching a paranormal show, one is really television and movie. It's not real. You see snippets on TV of what actually happens. Like, it's very time consuming. It can be sometimes draining to the energy of the people that are participating. It's super long. Don't wear noisy clothes.
I've learned that lesson.
Right? Yeah, like could be like a puffy jacket or, any kind of, like, for example, you would never be able to wear corduroys or something like that to an investigation. It's just too noisy. So it takes energy to be quiet and be recorded with highly sensitive material, as opposed to just walking around and sitting and not talking.
So while I'm filming you here, something keeps taking a photo on this camera here.
So the room that we're in these two corners of the room, we've had some paranormal teams come in local to the Vancouver area and use some of their different equipment. One of the things I don't know when I do paranormal, I don't know how to use the equipment, and I don't know what it's called, but there's a machine that has like a video on it, and it has like stickmen, people moving. So they've used that machine in this room, and there's often people in the corner behind me and to my left.
Is there anyone in this room with us right now, would you say?
I didn't turn that on yet.
No? There it goes. Took another photo as soon as I asked that. And with this camera, you have to manually
touch it,
press power a photo,
right,
while it's recording. And it's done it 3 times now.
Yeah.
Weird.
So we could ask if there's more than one person in this room with us.
Clearly there's somebody mucking around with cameras. There it goes again.
Yeah. That's confirmation, right?
Yeah. Wow. All right, back to the interview. You're a paranormal investigator when you're like, yeah, there's a ghost here anyhow. What is your most scary and dark encounter with the other side that you can think of?
I haven't had really scary or really dark, and I'm grateful about that because I like to work with the light. At one investigation at a residence in Pitt Meadows, outside of Vancouver, I don't know if I say grabbed or touched by a spirit, and it was a profound experience for me because I just wasn't expecting it, because I was in the room with the cameraman and myself. There was nobody else around. They were outside of the building when this happened, and I literally turned to see who was standing there, like who touched me.
Wow.
It wasn't violent, but it was a very clear experience that happened for me. It was pretty profound, but no, I wouldn't say it was dark. It was just surprising.
Okay.
I was grounded and prepared for whatever was going to come.
Have you ever seen anyone get harmed on an investigation?
I haven't witnessed anyone get harmed, no, but I've heard stories of investigators that I work with personally that, after, for example, there's a local woman who, before she goes out on an investigation with her husband, she goes on the investigation, but before she leaves the house, she removes her clothing and has her husband photograph her body before she goes on the investigation, because that way if she gets scratched at the investigation, like usually she'll be being filmed the whole time so you can see no one touched her, and then suddenly there's 2 big red marks on her back that weren't there before.
Wow.
She's got a little bit of extra evidence before she
that makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense to me when she explained it too.
Okay. Back to your readings, psychometry. That is, I'm so fascinated by that. Like, you see it on the shows. I like research it often. I've been doing a lot of research on it because it interests me. Can you explain it? Like, I know you talked about it earlier, but your thought process. So you picked up those keys, but then is it like a movie going on in your head, or is it just thoughts that come to you?
Yeah, so for me, it's not like a movie so much as that I feel information. I took a psychic workshop in San Diego many years ago, and I was telling the girls at the workshop, like it was the end of the day and we were all hanging out in one of the girls' room, and they couldn't believe that I could touch an object and get an impression or an imprint from it. So one lady took off her necklace and handed it to me. And back in the 80s, a lot of girls used to wear several necklaces that were all attached together, like different lengths. So she handed me this necklace that she took off in one piece. And right away I started reading it. I put it in my left hand and I swiped my right hand over the object. And right away, I started feeling like very, very sick, and I buckled over in pain around my stomach area. And I said, you know what? I'm not feeling well suddenly, and I'm going to have to read your necklace later. Handed it back to her, and she said, oh, I wonder if that has anything to do with the several stomach surgeries I've had.
Wow.
So at that time, I wasn't using protection and protecting myself from information at that time, but it was a wonderful beginner's lesson for me to be in so much pain and realizing that I have to do something else to block the information from coming through so that I can feel the information and sense the information and separate it from myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
With each investigator or sensitive person I interview, I like them to show off what they do. Are you open to demonstrating your psychometry with a few haunted objects I've acquired over the years of investigating and see if there's actually anything in them? It's not a punked thing. I've been told that they're one of those items I'm going to get rid of.
Sure. My question for you is about them. Mm-hmm. When I do psychometry, it's really important that the person who's giving me the object, or let's say I'm reading your object, if it was a found object, we can't confirm the information that I might get. Okay. Or if you didn't know the person who owned it before you and it's now your object, we can't confirm the information that comes through. So are you able to confirm any of the things that you brought?
One of the objects was given to me, so I know the person.
Okay.
The second one I bought from a thrift store.
Okay.
The third one was given to me.
Okay.
And the fourth one was bought at a thrift store.
Sure, let's try that.
All right. Okay, Paisley, here's our first item.
Ooh, this looks fun. I'm looking forward to this. Okay. So that's perfect. Yeah. So normally what I do is when I go near this object, the first thing that comes up for me, and see right now, like I didn't intentionally close my eyes. I just feel like that's how I can see better. I feel like so I'm getting female energy around this object. So that doesn't mean it's a woman, but it could have been owned by a man that had kind of feminine energy, or a female. And I feel like it's a younger person or a fragile person. Can you confirm any of that so far? Female,
no one
fragile?
knew the whereabouts of it.
Oh, okay.
So that's interesting.
And I feel like a lot of pressure around the back of the neck and the shoulders, like just a lot of pressure around this piece. And it's also making me cry.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there sadness?
It's sadness. I want to say emotional, not sad.
Because it knows I want to get rid of it.
Okay.
I don't know, that's what I'm assuming.
I can't confirm that, but it just feels emotional. Current and past.
Okay.
Are you sad about letting it go?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting emotions around it.
Okay.
And that's for a good example of a piece that we can't confirm.
Mm-hmm.
So
But the reading is really interesting because what you're saying is a lot of what people that's been around it has experienced.
okay.
So it's perfect for me.
Okay, good. Let's try another one.
This was given to me in Washington
Okay. Just put it right here.
from a witch.
Okay. A witch or a wicked person?
I could call him A, call him B.
Okay, so is it you that's experiencing some left shoulder problems? Are you having trouble raising your left arm?
Sometimes, yeah.
From an injury, an accident, a fall, something?
I got in a car accident a couple
Okay,
years ago.
okay, an accident, okay.
I probably got that around the time when I was hurt.
Okay. So what's coming up for me when I go near this piece is left ear, and I want to call it like, not blocked, that's not the right word, but unclear hearing and unclear, just unclear. Not, it doesn't feel like it's blocked ear, and left shoulder is coming up. Yeah, it feels like a beautiful piece. It feels like a nice piece to me.
Yes,
I don't get any like crazy energy from it or anything.
Good.
It's something I would put on my mantle.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It looks like it's wooden. What's it made out of?
Wood.
Oh, it's wooden.
Yeah.
Okay.
1943 Germany.
Oh, okay.
Like it's very German.
Okay.
That was gifted.
Yep, just put it right there. That's perfect. Thanks. If I was getting something, I'd tell you, but I don't feel anything from this piece. This is one piece. Like this to me feels like, I want to say, empty, or
Just a book.
it's yeah, I'm not.
That works for me.
Yeah, if I was getting something, I'd feel obligated to tell you because it's about intention, but I'm not getting any feelings or emotions or impressions at all around this book. It's cool that it's an old book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I love books.
Alright.
And I have gotten impressions from books before. Any kind of object. It could be like most people, they come to see me, they don't know they're having a reading, so they bring jewelry or they're wearing jewelry, but sometimes not. So I'll read a set of keys or a belt buckle or a
Wow.
wallet. Yeah.
So this is a bunch of World War II German era poetry for pro-Germany.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
It has a unique smell to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see I didn't go very close to it, but I pick up a strong smell from it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
This is a lot. Do you want all of it, or was the lid enough?
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have to be all of it.
So this carries our portal in it.
Okay. And you don't know the history of this piece.
Nope, that was literally from Vancouver, I think, hospital thrift shop.
I'm getting reconfirmation about what I said earlier about this piece about like stomach discomfort. I want to say almost like ulcer or stomach surgery or distress in the stomach around this piece.
Is it negative? Because like I can't even have it in my bedroom.
Well, I try not to judge if something is negative or positive. A lot of people have come to me before and said things like, I'm thinking about getting a reading, but don't tell me anything bad. And I'm like, well, I'd have to judge if it's something is good or bad.
Right.
So strong pain in the gut
Fair enough.
around this piece.
Okay.
If you're gonna put it in your home or in your bedroom, like some people would keep this in a garage, like keep it away from their family or whatever. But if you're gonna keep it in your home, go ahead and smudge it, clear it, cleanse it. remove the energy from it from the previous owner and invite harmonious, gentle energy. And then you should be able to put that in your room if you need to.
Okay, yeah, I had it in my closet in my hallway.
Yeah.
Last one.
Sure. Okay.
There's a fire agate.
Okay. And this belongs to you, is that right?
Yes.
Someone gave this to you, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so with the person that gave you this fire agate, Spirit's drawing me right to the throat about this piece. And I'm going to say, and you can just say yes or no and we don't have to discuss it, but I just want to, I feel like I want to tell you there's something you need to say or haven't been saying to this person. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's confirmation. I don't need to go more on camera about that, but
That works.
yeah, so that's the only thing that comes up for that is something unsaid by you to that person.
Okay.
Or about that. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. See, that fascinates me. Everything you just said there, like about all those objects, that's cool.
I prefer it though if we can confirm. Like, it'd be cool if you found out, oh, the lady who dropped off the sewing machine, case or whatever, she, had pancreatic cancer or she had ulcers or something. Oh, okay.
Cancer.
Did your mom sew?
No. Well,
No.
no. Funny story. So when I threw the sewing, I couldn't throw the sewing machine out. I couldn't.
Right?
So I brought it to Value Village to donate it. Just the
After
machine.
you bought it from Value Village,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
No, we bought it in Vancouver and rehomed the sewing machine in Langley. And I swore there was no needles in it. And then when I go to put it in the bin, stabbed in the hand by a needle out of nowhere. So I was told, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, it was probably meant to be together.
It really creeped me out.
Yeah.
Then I felt guilty for a while.
Yeah, but you wanted it for the case.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you want to say thank you for the case and goodbye to the sewing machine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So in closing,
Yes.
in my opinion, I think if anyone's interested in getting a reading, they should 100% go to you, because I've seen you do your thing on investigating. I've witnessed you do it to other people, and you're always knock it out of the park.
Thank
always,
you.
Always. There's no... Always. 100%. I've seen.
Thank you.
That's
We haven't done anything super impressive here today, but...
No, but in, I think, probably 5-6 years knowing you now, at any time I've been out on an investigation or seen you at at the Paracon,
Right.
always. I think it's
Oh,
impressive.
good.
So I think they should come see you.
So it's interesting that you say that, because I want to disagree with you.
Okay.
Not because I don't want more clients, because I always welcome new people. I feel like just like every client isn't for every dentist, or every dentist isn't for every client, I feel like it's the same way for psychics.
I agree.
And so sometimes people have come to me for a reading, and for example, if they're skeptical about getting a reading, or they haven't had one before, or they're not sure about it, 100% I'll talk them out of it. I won't read for them. I say, when you're ready, you'll know, and that's when you should go see a psychic. And sometimes the next day they call me and say, I'm ready. Cool. But quite often they respect me for not taking their money, and it's not all about the money for me, it's about the craft.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, if someone's a skeptic, I won't read for them. And sometimes people come to me for a reading, and I can tell by their questions that there's another reader that I know that would better suit their needs. So I often will refer new clients to a different type of a reader that can be better of service to them.
You're honest. That's good.
It's just how it works for me. Yeah.
Where can people reach you if they're interested in seeing you or getting a reading?
So I have a little website. It's paisleytown.com. If people are trying to find me on Google, for example, if you just type in Paisley Town, it'll take you to the town of Paisley in the UK. But if you type in Paisley Psychic or Paisley Town Psychic or numerology Paisley Town, any of those kind of keywords, you can find me easily online.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Holy